Okay, welcome back. Hope you have had a nice break. Are there any questions? Anything? All right, so now before break, we did one question for lesson 25, one-way ANOVA test. So now we'll start with lesson 26, two-way analysis of variance. Okay. Can you show a notation? Sure. Box plot. Yeah. Do you expect copies of the output added to the final submission file? Yes, I do expect selected outcomes, those outcomes related to the questions to be attached to your assignment. Okay? As attachment, not as appendix. The output as appendix. And for the test online SPSS component, do we save and submit file on Sakai? Or if the test is handwritten, do we just note the answers on the test paper? Okay, for the test, you do not need to save and submit the files on Sakai. You just need to submit the questions. Actually, it is online test. I will design the questions on Sakai. When you get the questions, it is from Sakai. It is multiple choice question, filling in the blank, and short answer, not a paper test. Online test. Okay. Anyone else having issue with the comments connecting today? Eric, that keep on trying because you are using Windows Virtual Desktop. I'm not sure if other students get the same errors. Any other questions? All right. So I will still use this example to illustrate the two-way analysis of variance. Okay, before the break, we did lesson 25, and this question is based on one factor. That factor is hair color. That's why it is one way. One way means one factor. Okay. And lesson 26, we'll talk about two factors. Okay, for example, not based on hair color, but also based on if the student is international students or domestic student. Okay, those are the two factors. Okay, now let's dive in for lesson 26, two-way analysis. So I'm going to start off by open up the data file. Okay, so the data file is lesson 28. And then I will explain the objectives and the procedures for SPSS. Try to open file. Open lesson 26. Lesson 26 data file 1. Oops. So for this data, we have two factors. One factor is based on gender, okay, with 1 represent man, 2 represent woman. And then we have the method variable. And the method also have 3 groups. Okay. What are the methods? If you go to the variable view, go to the method. 1 represents method 1, 2 is method 2, 3 control group. Okay. By the way, this is about study habit. Okay, we have different style method. Method 1 is not taken. Method 1, some students need to take notes. Method 2, not taken. Also not taken method 2. Okay, so just consider this general method 1, method 2, and control group. So 3 different groups. And then we compare their GPA. Okay, those are the GPA. So those are the 3 variables. 3 variables. So once we have this data, okay, just try to screenshot, and then I will analyze it. So what is the question here? What do we want from this data set? Page 175. Okay, so we want to ask research question. The data set. So we know in our data set, there are 2 factors. One factor is man, gender. The other factor is method, and then GPA. Okay, so the research question. This is the research question. I'm just going to copy so that I can make annotation. So method effect. Do the means on change in GPA differ among method 1, method 2, and control group? There are 3 groups. That is a method may effect. And then we'll ask gender may effect. Do the means on change in GPA differ for man and woman? And because we have 2 factors, one factor is method, the other factor is gender, we want to also study the interaction effect. Interaction effect. Do the difference in the means on change in GPA among 3 methods vary as a function of gender? So do the 3 methods have something to do with the gender? There are 3 questions. Okay, I heard the questions on chart. Okay, we try with a different browser. Okay. All right, thank you for helping each other. Okay, sometimes when you work with the Windows Virtual Desktop, you need to keep on trying, and sometimes you need to use different browser. Okay. So any questions? We have 3 research questions here. Okay. Just so that you know what are those 3 methods. Those are variables here. Variables here. Just going to copy. Those are the meaning of the variable. Okay, now we are going to conduct test of main and interactions effect. Okay. So go to the data. I'll try to go slow. Please stop me if you have any questions, okay? And try to close on not save. Not this one. I don't want this data. Not save. Okay, this is the data. Okay. So you go analyze general linear model, and then go to univariate. Dependent variable is GPA. GPA is dependent variable. Okay. And then gender and method are the fixed factor. So quick gender, move it to fixed factor. Then quick method, move it to fixed factor. So after that, quick EM means EM represent estimated mean, estimate means, okay, and select gender gender asterisk method. Move this one to display means for interaction. So gender, then asterisk method represent interaction between gender and method. Okay. So quick continue. And then from the options, select descriptive statistic, estimate of size, effect size, and then homogeneity tests, and quick OK button. Quick OK button again. So any questions so far? Now I will explain the output. Okay. Explain the output. So the first one is descriptive statistics. Those are the means across different groups. So maybe I just want to copy this to OneNote so that I can make annotation. So those are the means for different group, okay, for different method. And then for Leibniz test of equality. So what we are interested in is the p-value here. So all the p-value greater than alpha. That means it is not significant. Means equal variance assumed. Okay. And then when you take a look at test between subjects effect, so I need a test between subject effect. Copy this. And then you focus on the p-value here. So p-value for gender p-value for gender is smaller than 0.01, means if gender is significant, means there are difference among genders. So gender is significant. And also p-value for Mansard is significant, means the mean across different Mansard are different. Maybe I'll write down here. Okay. And the next p-value 0.062 is the interaction between gender and the Mansard. The interaction is greater than alpha. P-value for interaction greater than alpha means there is no interaction. Okay, the interaction is not significant. Okay, greater than alpha, so interaction is not significant. Interaction is not significant. Okay, so this is we get an idea. This data set, the main effect is significant. So gender is significant. What does mean gender is significant? Means the mean for genders are different. So for example, the mean for man is different from the mean for woman. Okay, so Mansard is significant. What does it mean Mansard is significant? Remember, we have 3 different Mansard. Mansard is significant, means at least one Mansard is different from other Mansards. Okay, so that is significant. But we do not find the interaction effect between gender and Mansard. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? So from this, we found significant main effect, but not significant interaction. So I'm going to typing this up because this is important conclusion, okay? Significant main effect, but no significant interaction. So this is our conclusion based on this p-value here. Based on this p-value. So any questions? Any questions? And now what we are going to do next, because the main effect for Mansard have 3 different Mansard. So we want to do the follow-up test to evaluate pairwise difference among those 3 Mansard. Okay, so this is what we are going to do next. Okay, to see which 3 Mansard are different, which Mansard is different from others. We do this by doing pairwise comparison. Okay, now I'm going to ask question for everyone. Why we do not do follow-up for gender? Gender is significant. Why we don't do follow-up for gender? Anyone? Why we only do follow-up for Mansard, not for gender? Gender is also significant. That is the question. Any thoughts? Remember, Mansard is significant, gender significant, but we just want to do follow-up for Mansard. Mouse, you are so great, brilliant. Yes, gender only have 2 categories. They are different. There is no necessity to do follow-up. You do follow-up only when you have 3 or more groups, 3 or more levels. That's excellent. Okay, now we are going to do follow-up for Mansard. Okay. All right, so to analyze general linear model and then univariate. We still have those set up. Okay, so we want to do the follow-up. You just click post hoc. And in the factors box, click Mansard to move it to post hoc test for Mansard. Okay, some students still have connection on the Windows Virtual Desktop. Okay. Okay, next, under equal variance assumed, we usually select 2K, okay, and REGWQ. For equal variance not assumed, it is disabled, means this variance assumed for this data set. So click continue, and then click OK button. Okay, so we did a follow-up test to see follow-up test for the Mansard. Okay, and we have this descriptive statistic again, and we also have multiple comparisons here. So through the multiple comparisons, I'm going to copy this because I want to analyze this result. Output for follow-up test for Mansard. So this is the multiple comparisons. We compare Mansard 1 with Mansard 2, and we found it is significant. Means Mansard 1 is different from Mansard 2. Then we compare Mansard 1 with control group. It is not significant. Not significant means the mean value for Mansard 1 is similar to the mean value for control. Okay, etc. Actually, the only not significant is this value here. Other p-value are significant. Okay, so we can conclude the mean mu1 not equal to mu2 because Mansard 1, Mansard 2 significant, but mu1 equal to mu3 because Mansard and control is not significant because it is not significant. This one, the reason is because Mansard 1, Mansard 2 significant. Okay. So any questions? Okay. So now return back to our research question. So what is our research question? Here, answer research question. Mansard mean effect, does the means differ among Mansard 1, Mansard 2, and control? The answer is yes. Question 2, gender mean effect, does the mean unchanged in GPA differ for man and woman? The answer is yes. Question 3, Mansard and gender interaction effect. Do the differences in means on changes in GPA on 3 Mansard vary as a function of gender? No, because interaction is not significant. So we answered those questions. Okay. Any questions so far? Shall we move on? All right. So next, remember this data showing interaction is not significant. Next example, I will show you about the significant interaction exist. That is a second data set I'm going to turn to. Okay. So I will open another data set. It is still lesson 26, but it is a data file 2 for lesson 26 here. Lesson 26, data file 2. Okay. And I click open. So the same data, but with different number, and the result will be different. The first data, we do not have interaction effect. This data will have interaction effect. Okay. All right, so let's find out how do we know this data set has an interaction effect. All right, so you go repeat yourself for the data set we did. Go to Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate, Dependent Variable, GPA, and then Fixed Variable is Gender and Method. After that, you click Options. Select Descriptive Statistic, Effect Size, Homogeneity Tests, and click OK button. And then click EM means, Estimate means, and select Gender Interact with Method. Move them into Display means for. Click Continue. And then click OK button. So after that, how do you know the interaction is significant? You go to test between subjects effect. So I'm just trying to copy this. I'm going to make annotation. This is output from file 2. There. The action is significant. All right. So this is interaction, gender over method. The p-value, see, the p-value smaller than alpha. So we conclude the interaction is significant. Oops. Interaction is significant. We found significant for interaction. Okay. So once you found significant for interaction, so what? You have many choices. One choice our textbook chose is to test simple mean effect following a significant interaction. So we want to know which simple means should be analyzed. And then what error term should be used to conduct the simple mean effects? Okay, so we are going to do simple mean effects analysis. Once we have interaction is significant, once we have interaction, significant interaction, okay, we conduct mean effects. Okay. This is what we are going to do next. So make sure this is data file 2. Okay. So we do analyze general linear model univariate. Because we cannot conduct simple mean effects by choosing options, so we have to paste syntax. Okay. So after you are here, after you go analyze general linear model univariate, and then you quick paste. Paste, where is it? Here. It is beside OK button. Quick paste, and you have this syntax. You have this syntax, and then copy estimate mean table gender method, so that it appears twice in the syntax. I need to copy this so that it appears twice. So select this one, right click your mouse, copy, and move your mouse and the end, press enter so that you have empty line. Control V, paste. So you have these two lines identical. Okay. After you copy and paste, revise the statement as you need to make modification. Okay, first go here. EM means represent estimate means equal to table gender method, and then type in compare gender. Compare gender, and then ADJ adjusted for LSD. LSD stands for least significant difference. Okay. And then modify the next command. So compare method. ADJ LSD. Okay. So this statement compare the means for gender, and this compare the mean for method. Okay. So after that, we highlight the syntax, highlight, and then click the run button. This button is run selection, and now we got the output. So I'm going to focus on some important output, pairwise comparison, and okay. So I will just copy this. Okay. So now we are going to see the mean difference here. the mean difference. Yeah. Pairwise comparison. Okay, this is pairwise comparison. When you look at the pairwise comparison and you see the mean difference, and the largest mean difference is between is this number here. This is the largest difference for Mansard 1 or Mansard 2, between man and woman. This is the largest difference. The least difference is control group, the least difference, control group between man and woman. Okay. And over here, you have the other statistics, univariate test. So the important thing is just to focus on the significant value here. Okay, so this is significant. Mansard 2 is significant across man and woman. This one is not significant. This one is significant. Okay. This one also smaller than alpha, significant. So you get some idea about which groups are different. So for Mansard 2, man and woman are different. For Mansard 1, man and woman are also different. Okay. All right. So any questions so far? Any questions? So in summary, this example shows us when you have two factors, you not only consider the factor, the main effect, you also need to consider interaction effect. And for the interaction effect, they might have interaction or they have interaction. We did two situations. Data file 1 has no interaction between Mansard and gender. Data file 2 has an interaction between gender and Mansard. Okay. So before we conclude this lesson, we want to create a graph to display a very completed. You know, we have two groups. One is gender, and then we have 3 different Mansard. And how do we create a graph to present the visual representation of those groups? Okay. So this again based on data file 2. Okay. I'm going to create a graph. So go to graph, legacy dialog, and then box plot. So after that, you need to select clustered, and then summaries for groups of cases. Then quick define. Okay. So GPA is our variable. GPA is our variable. Mansard is category variable. Mansard category variable. And then gender, move it to define cluster by gender. Okay. So I will just pause for a moment. Maybe I want to copy this to show you the procedure, how to produce a box plot for 2 factors. Okay, this is the so this is the procedure. After that, oops, data file 2. You click OK button, and you should get output here. So this is the output method, 3 methods across 2 different groups. Their GPA. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? All right, so let's take a second break. After break, we'll move on Unit 8. Unit 8. Okay. Let's say come back at 5 after 3. 5 after 3. Okay. 3:05. Unit 8. I'm going to stop recording. When we come back, I will stop recording again. Stop recording.